And so Monday, June the 15th came and went. A big day in European history. It's the unlocking of borders across Europe. A little bit uneven, a little bit untidy, some countries moving faster than others, and a spat or two along the way. Spain decided it was opening its border to Portugal without telling Portugal. The Canary Islands government message a little bit different from what was coming from Madrid. But more or less, we're getting it together. Obviously, Ireland is one of the countries moving at a slower pace. Leo Varadkar decided on Friday to say it would be a fortnight before he would reconsider the 14-day quarantine imposed by the Irish government.
That travel restrictions remain in place. Nobody should leave Ireland for the purposes of tourism. Nobody should come to Ireland for the purposes of leisure or tourism. And if anyone is coming here for an essential journey, they are required to fill in a passenger location form and are advised to self-isolate for at least 14 days. That's not going to change for now anyway.
See, all the airlines, not just Ryanair, are saying book now because you're getting very, very good prices. €60 one way to Lanzarote, €34 one way to Barcelona. The sort of prices you don't normally see in July.
The load factor now for July looks like to be about half where it was at the same date last year. We've only just started promoting the flights again, but there's a surge of people booking holidays, particularly to the Canaries, the Spanish resorts, the Balearics, Italy and Greece.
Ryanair are saying that there are lots of bookings, but they're also pushing very hard for the 14-day quarantine to be lifted, and also the Department of Foreign Affairs advisory against all but essential travel, and that impacts on travel insurance. Travelwrap has been saying that June the 18th Cabinet meeting is when it will all be reconsidered. That means an announcement on June the 19th. Leo says it goes back for another week after that, but there is another variable, and it is who is going to be in government. What will Micheál Martin say? All the way back through history is that people have found it easier to lift a drawbridge in time of plague than to put it back down again.
Over the next 7 to 10 15 days, I think there'll be a decision made on that.
The issues that concern the travel agents of Ireland continue to be cash, credibility and clarity.
The DFA, the HSE, the Consumer Affairs people and the Minister for Transport to all come together when it comes to, I mean, there's no point in one department coming out with a refund credit note and then another section of the government coming out and saying that the Package Trade Directive is what you need to claim under.
One development that is underway is extending the 6-month credit note to 9 months.
The ITAA have worked very hard to develop this retail credit note, which I'm very, very supportive of. Couple of concerns. My understanding has gone from 6 months to 9 months, which is positive, which should take it up to kind of call it 31 March when we'll say travel agents would be more cash positive at that time of year. However, my concern is for customers accepting the retail credit note.
It is subject to EU approval because in theory EU 261 and the Package Holiday Directive still apply.
So if customers come to us and who are looking for the refund, if we have got it back, we were issuing that refund and cash refund straight away.
Eastbound airlines have been opening. Etihad returned to the air last week, Emirates this week, Turkish next week. And it leads to concerns that flight programmes that have been hastily restored will be cancelled again.
I feel at the moment we have this sort of a second wave of flight cancellations coming on long haul, because I feel that once the airlines get back in the skies, sort of today and the beginning of July, they're not going to be able to sustain the cash burn that they're going to be burning with empty flights. So if you think of it, you've got Turkish coming in 2 days a week, you've got Etihad 4 days, you've got Qatar, you've got Emirates, you've got United, Lufthansa, Aer Lingus putting on extra. But if they're only carrying single digit numbers of passengers on their aircrafts, the airlines are going to sort of say, we're not getting people on our aircraft, so we're going to have to stop flying again.
And the westbound airlines are all coming in July, but they're all asking the same question. what will happen after the repatriation business, which will fill some of those flights for the first couple of weeks, comes to an end, and it comes to looking for new clients to fly those.
You know, how long are those tentative timetables going to be valid for when we can't get our passengers to and from the destinations? It's all one-way traffic at the moment, just one way.
When John Spollen of Cassidy Travel was elected president of the Irish Travel Agents Association 2 years ago, and he was successfully approaching the end of that when COVID-19 struck in March 2020. It has changed the landscape for travel.
It's been an honour to have been president, and as you rightly say, a lot has happened over those last 2 years. I think 2 years when the travel industry totally recovered from the recession, where we saw our highest figures and passenger numbers going through agencies in 2019. And then conversely, we have COVID-19, which has seen the travel industry nearly collapse. The association is talking to the government has been over the past 8 to 10 weeks. And that support is really vital to carry on with. From the point of view of dealing with the department, we joined together the Dominic and World Choice joined together with us, and Kathy Burke as well, where we were appointed as one arrow and one voice of the travel industry, and that's, I believe, is really important. And as a combined voice of the travel industry, as one pointed arrow out of the quiver, I think it's important that continues as the lobbying that the ITAA we've set up in the ITAA needs to continue and will continue under the guidance of the incoming President Michael Doherty and Pat and the team and the board. Very strong board.
And it has also presented a new model of what the Irish Travel Agents Association should be doing. What sort of shape will our industry have at the end of this, and how should people be responding to it? A big existential crisis, as is quite apparent to many in the business, or are there opportunities in the middle of this? How do we see them? How do we identify them? And how do we work them?
It's all been about essential engagement, Eoghan. I think it's engagement with our industry, everyone from the legislators, from the partners, from suppliers, and that has been key, I think, so far. And we need to continue that and to grow that engagement.
If we can see a bit more opening up, the restrictions eased, and the airlines playing, flying again, then I'll see more of an acceptance for the retail credit note. But until that happens, I can see a reluctance.
But we're going to have to shape it. I think it's very important that we come out with this saying that we are the experts. We're going to basically get the places that are most safe for our customers to travel to. We have to come out the other side of this in some way and have the positivity and say, this is why we are an industry that's worth fighting for. Come back to the travel agent. Let's show why we add value to your booking. So it is going to be changed, but we should be the ones tooled with all the information to be able to tell the consumer what's in their best interest to do holiday going forward, instead of them searching online or getting it wrong. If you get it wrong in the next, say, year, it could be a catastrophe for their holiday and for future travel.
Are we a corporate travel management company? What are we? It's made us sort of ask the questions that we do a lot more for the clients than just book the flights. I think whoever comes back will come back different and come back stronger. And I'm quite positive. And it's also, if anything, it's learned that we're all tired talking on Zoom, and we're all tired talking about nothing, and no deals are being, nobody's getting a deal across the line. It's just talking for talking. And it's reassured me that Zoom is never going to take over face-to-face meeting.
We've had people who want to come back to the association now to rejoin, and new agents who were never members to join up. So it's really important. It's got a lot going for it, from the legalese side of things with Anne Dolan, an excellent legal person who's full of knowledge, to our aviation people, Val Metcalf, to our tour operating now coming in, Alan Lynch, and all the other members of the board.
That is a job for a new president, Michael Doherty, and a new board of the ITAA, which will be elected at a Zoom AGM tomorrow, Wednesday. Participants from all parts of the country. My name is Eoghan Corry. Travelwrap is commissioned by the Irish Travel Agents Association. The views here are my own.
What can I say? sanitizer is the new sun cream.